lost weight when the weather starts getting nice. It's like, no, the
Good evening, everyone. If you'd like to please take your seats. Welcome to Spokane City Hall legislative agenda this evening. We will start with our land acknowledgement. We acknowledge that we are on the unceded land of the Spokane people and that these lands were once the major trading center for the Spokanes as they shared this place and welcome other area tribes through their relations by history, trade, and ceremony. We also want to acknowledge that the land holds the spirit of the place through its knowledge, culture, and all the original people since time immemorial. As we take a moment to consider the impacts of colonization, may we also acknowledge the strengths and resiliency of the Spokanes and their relatives. As we work together making decisions that benefit all, may we do so as one heart, one mind, and one spirit. We are grateful to be on the shared land of the Spokane people and ask for the support of their ancestors in all relations. We ask that you recognize these injustices that forever change the lives of the Spokane people and all their relatives. We agree to work together to stop all acts of continued injustices toward Native Americans and all our relatives. It is time for reconciliation. We must act upon the truths and take actions that will create restorative justice for all people. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. Ms. Pfister, will you call the roll?
Council President Wilkerson.
Present.
Councilmember Zapone.
Here.
Councilmember Cathcart.
Present.
Councilmember Bingle.
Here.
Councilmember Dillon.
Here.
Councilmember Klitsky.
Present.
Councilmember Navarrete.
Here.
Let the record reflect that all council members are present.
Thank you. Tonight we have Poetry at the Podium, which was originally created in 2019 by Spokane Poet Laureate Mark Anderson, along with Spokane Arts, to give local poets and poetry enthusiasts the opportunity to make their voices heard at council meetings in a unique and artful way. This opportunity reminds our community that poetry can play an important part in the civic realm. Tonight, we have David Lane reading the poem titled By. David, welcome, come on down.
Thank you. This poem's called My Boy and Me. As I watched her stomach grow, I just knew there was a beacon of hope inside her. A hope so bright for something different. I held tight to the idea that his birth would be enough to make me change. It wasn't. With savage strokes, I painted a life of destruction. Nowhere to go, nowhere to stay. I knew it was his tears hitting my face as I slept in the rain. I wanted something different for him, for me. A decision was made. A young boy's love never wavers for his father. We got to know each other in the visiting room. He walked through metal detectors and barbed wire every time with a smile for me. He welcomed me home and into his heart. I remember thinking his exhales were my breaths. Fearless, we grew up together. We learned about love and loss. We stumbled our way through bus routes and plane rides. Happy just to be together. Today, he's 18. My lighthouse, my love. His dad made it. His dad made it because of him. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Do we have any public comment on the commission? We're now going to go into our meeting. On the appointment to the Human Rights Commissions, we have two people with public comment. We have John Alder. Is John in the building or online? And we have Jim Lee.
I don't see John online.
Do you see Jim?
Yep.
Oh, there he comes. Welcome.
And for everybody in the room tonight, we have a new timer for testimony right up there. So you'll have 3 minutes.
Good evening. Thank you for having us. My name is Jim Leedy. I would like to submit my support for the confirmation of the appointment of Justice Worrell for the Human Rights Commission. Justice Worrell is an incredible human being that has always been there for people when needed. They are a voice for those who cannot speak, a champion of human rights, and a good person. When I first met Justice, I was still grieving the loss of my buddy, Craig Johnson. Craig was killed by Bonner County Sheriff Deputy Sean Deem on September 26, 2017. Justice was someone that cared, listened, and grieved with me. They gave me a voice and a direction. They let me know that I can be a force for change. I would be honored to have Justice be a part of the Spokane Human Rights Commission. Thank you.
Thank you. John? I don't see him in the building or online. Any council commentary? Councilmember Bingo.
Yeah, I've gone back and forth on this one. Justice obviously has great passion for the community. I think that, in ways that I saw last week, I'm encouraged to see him continue to channel it in that way. And for me, though, Justice, I need to see it a little bit more before I confirm this. I think you're going to do it. I hope you do it.
Thank you. Any other council commentary? All those in favor of Justice Worrell for the Human Rights Commission, please indicate by saying aye. Aye. Any noes?
No.
Any abstentions? The ayes have it. Justice, thank you for volunteering, and we look forward to working with you. Next, we're going to the consent agenda, and we have no public concept, no comment on the consent agenda. Is there anything council like to take separately on the consent agenda? That being said, then all those in favor of the consent agenda, please indicate by saying aye. Aye. Any noes? Abstentions? The ayes have it. The consent agenda is passed. Ms. Pfister.
Ordinance C 36603, amending ordinance number C 36467, passed by the City Council November 27, 2023, and entitled, an ordinance adopting the annual budget of the City of Spokane for 2024, making appropriations to the various funds of the City of Spokane government for the fiscal year ending December 31, 2024, and providing it shall take effect immediately upon passage and declaring an emergency and appropriating funds in Fire EMS Fund Number 1, increased revenue by $700,000. A, of the increased revenue, $700,000 is provided solely for wildfire mobilization reimbursement from the Department of Natural Resources and other agencies. Number 2, increased appropriation by $700,000. A, of the increased appropriation, $700,000 is provided solely for overtime and travel of firefighters deployed to wildfire events. This action arises from the need to realize wildfire mobilization reimbursements.
Any council commentary? Seeing none, prepare to vote. Thank you.
Ordinance C 36606, Fire Capital Fund Number 1, decreased revenue by $500,000. A, of the decreased revenue, $500,000 is removed from an operating transfer in from the general fund. 2, decrease appropriation by $750,000. A, of the decreased appropriation, $500,000 is removed solely from building construction. B, of the decreased appropriation, $250,000 is removed solely from vehicles. 3, increase appropriation by $250,000. A, of the increased appropriation, $250,000 is provided solely for an operating transfer out to the Fire EMS Fund. And General Fund Number 1, decrease appropriation by $500,000. A, of the decreased appropriation, $500,000 is removed solely from an operating transfer out to the Fire Capital Fund. Number 2, increase appropriation by $500,000. A of the increased appropriation, $500,000, is provided solely for an operating transfer out to the Fire EMS Fund. And Fire EMS Fund, number 1, increased revenue by $750,000. A of the increased revenue, $500,000, is provided solely for an operating transfer in from the general fund. B of the increased revenue, $250,000, is provided solely for an operating transfer in from the Fire Capital Fund. 2, increase appropriation by $750,000. A of the increased appropriation, $750,000, is provided solely for uniform overtime. This action arises from the need to right-size the Fire EMS Fund's budget for year end.
There is no public comment. Any council commentary? Seeing none, prepare to vote. Thank you.
Ordinance C 36607, General Fund, number 1, increased revenue by $100,000. A of the increased revenue, $100,000, is provided solely for an operating transfer into the Police Department from the American Rescue Plan Fund. Number 2, increased appropriation by $1,100,000. A of the increased appropriation, $700,000, is provided solely for base wages in the Police Department. B of the increased appropriation, $400,000, is provided solely for annual leave payout in the Police Department. And number 1, reallocate the appropriation of $100,000 that was previously allocated for the purpose of multicultural centers. 2 of the reallocated appropriation, $100,000, is provided solely for an operating transfer out to the general fund. This action arises from the need to right-size the Police Department's budget for year end.
Council President, there are 3 folks signed up, but I believe they may have meant to sign up for the budget hearing on cops. Those folks are Kelly Cruz, Victoria Bounds, and Jack Brukick. Would you guys like to testify at the budget hearing? Okay.
Okay, all right. Seeing no public comment on this, any council commentary? Councilmember Dillon.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, and just to kind of clarify, I've got some questions about this. There was a nonprofit that had originally been allocated as part of our ARPA multicultural funds. Part of that was capital needs. It turns out that they didn't need the money. It didn't really fit in with the timeline, and so it was important to be able to claw this back to true up our expenses for salary savings for the police department.
Any other commentary? Seeing none, prepare to vote. Thank you.
Final reading ordinance C 36604 related to sidewalk maintenance, amending Spokane Municipal Code Section 12.01.010 of the Spokane Municipal Code.
We have 3 public comments. Rick Bocook. Passing. Thank you. Will Hewlings. And after Will Hewlings, Chris Wall.
Good evening. My name is Will Hewlings, and I live downtown Spokane. So I support Ordinance C-36604 to some extent as it amends Spokane Municipal Code to allow property owners to perform minor sidewalk repairs under specific conditions. Currently, property owners are responsible for maintaining and repairing sidewalks adjacent to their properties. Well-maintained sidewalks are crucial for safety and accessibility of our community. Unfortunately, Spokane sidewalks are riddled with hazards like cracks and uneven pavement, making walking treacherous. This issue spans both downtown and residential areas. A lot of this is due to tree roots breaking through the pavement. Many struggling businesses downtown can't pay for these repairs. Basically, because they're struggling with other things that they're trying to take care of with their business. Sorry. But basically, like I said, I'm somewhat for this, so I don't know how you want to take that. You guys got my speech, and that's it. Thank you.
Thank you, Will. Chris Wall. Is Chris in person or is Chris online?
Chris, if you're online, can you press *3 or raise your hand?
We're not seeing anything. Any council commentary? Councilor Cathcart?
Yeah, I'll just say I'm really excited about this. I think it makes a lot of sense to improve, make it easier for folks to replace their own sidewalks. It shouldn't be that cumbersome. But we do need, I think, to eliminate the permit costs that go along with this. And so I really think until we do that, we're probably not going to see a big increase in people utilizing this. But in the short term, this is a good fix.
Yeah, I'll say what it does is it makes it, again, a lot easier for the homeowner to be able to repair their own sidewalks. And for that, I'm grateful. I think that we need to make a lot of things less burdensome on the taxpayer and on the citizen to where they can perform simple maintenance. We even have things in our code where it's like, if you have a tree branch that's greater than 2 inches, you actually can't trim it on your own without a licensed arborist. Things like that are things that I think we need to work on more as a city. And I'm sure we'll continue to do so. But for today, this is a very good step for the city. I'm happy about it.
I echo those comments and and thanks to Code Enforcement, to Jason Ruffing for looking at what we can do right now to help our citizens. There were some barriers in place that were put there by the city that kept citizens from really maintaining their sidewalks in their property. So we are trying to deliver it. It's not the perfect end, but it is a step forward to making it simpler, to make walking safer for everybody. Prepare to vote. Did you catch that? Got it.
Yeah. First reading ordinance C 36608 relating to littering and illegal dumping, repealing Chapter 10.62 of the Spokane Municipal Code, amending Section 10.58.020 of the Spokane Municipal Code. Further action is deferred on first reading ordinance.
Great. We have several public comments. John Alder. Then Will Hewlings and Rick Bocook.
John Alder, I live in northeast Spokane. Yes, I've worked at private businesses that do have a problem. People dumping garbage. It's supposed to go in our dumpsters and taking away our garbage. But as for the homeless garbage, unlike you and me, they don't have a garage, basement, or even a home to dump their stuff in and let it pile up to where you have to want to clean it out sometime. They have to leave it on the streets. Yeah, their home. What they need is a place to store their stuff. That's why there's another good reason for mentioning 2 24/7 shelters on East and West Spokane, and storage and lockers of their stuff you're throwing away that belongs to them would be a good use of these shelters. Please stop coming up with ways to punish the homeless. Instead, let's find permanent housing like low income and the previous shelters I mentioned to solve this homeless situation. And you won't have so much on the streets.
Thank you, John. Will Hewlings?
Good evening again. My name is Will Hewlings, and I live downtown Spokane. I voice my opposition to Ordinance C 36608. While I acknowledge that illegal dumping is a serious problem in Spokane, with code enforcement reporting over 20 tons of garbage discarded monthly, this ordinance, tied to Washington State's HB 2207, fails to address the root cause of the issue and ultimately serves as a Band-Aid for a problem that Democratic policies have exacerbated. HB 2207 acknowledges that the current enforcement system for illegal dumping may not be efficient or just. It proposes to convert illegal dumping from a criminal act to a civil infraction, suggesting that this approach avoids criminalizing individuals who may struggle financially. However, I find this deeply flawed when we consider the largest contributors to this problem, illegal homeless encampments. Homeless individuals are frequently responsible for the vast amounts of garbage, including hazardous waste, left scattered throughout our cities, parks, streets, and alleyways. These encampments not only contribute to environmental degradation, but also threaten public health and safety. HB 2207 introduces fines and infractions, but let me ask, how will this be enforced on people who have no assets, no accountability, and no intentions of complying? Fining homeless individuals who are already disconnected from society is an empty gesture. While I appreciate the intent behind penalizing littering, especially differentiating between minor and major offenses, the leniency proposed here diminishes the gravity of the situation. A Class 3 civil infraction for dumping less than 50 pounds of litter, that's barely a slap on the wrist. A natural resource infraction for dumping more than 50 pounds, it's meaningless unless enforced consistently and universally. These homeless encampments generate far more than 50 pounds of trash, and yet no serious consequences are applied to hold them accountable. My time's ending, but basically, like I said, I oppose this. Thank you.
Thank you, Will. Rick Booklet?
You could change the littering. I'm just trying to figure out, how do you enforce people doing littering? I remember the battles I had with Downtown Partnership when they would come and talk to me about my chalk art, and I would tell them about their clean team, who they probably $100 an hour walking down the streets right now. But I would say, well, you guys you don't clean up the gum, and you don't clean up the cigarette butts. Where now they got the plaza, a lot of people that are homeless, they smoke there, but they have little places. But I would point out all these little alleyways, and these were people that work downtown. No accountability on them. So we see these focuses. You focus on one group, but you don't focus on another. So I think, how is this enforced? How are you going to enforce the people that throw cigarettes down? Most of the people that are homeless, they can't afford it. You can always tell by the brands that somebody's spending like $12 a pack for cigarettes. That's littering too. But no accountability. So I'm just trying to figure out, how are you going to enforce this stuff? Thank you.
Thank you. That concludes our legislative, but this is the time and place set for the public hearing on the following matter, the biennial budget review.
Council President, can I speak on the last ordinance there?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, thank you, everybody, for speaking on that. This is an ordinance that, in and of itself, I don't necessarily disagree with. I think it's good to keep our city clean. I think it's very good to keep our city clean. I do have a couple questions on this one, though. As we heard, we had a couple people testify tonight about how it's going to affect the homeless. And one of the things that I'm trying to figure out right now is, every ordinance that we've brought forward relating to homeless or could have an effect on the homeless has been deferred so that it could go to our homelessness roundtables. I'm trying to figure out why this one didn't go to a homelessness roundtable so we could have, substantial community input on this one. Maybe it's because it wasn't proposed by myself or Councilmember Cathcart. Maybe that's why it happened. But either way, it's before us now. The other thing I hear all the time when it comes to ordinances like this is, we just don't have the resources to enforce. It's the reason why we deferred sit and lie. It's the reason why we can't enforce Prop 1. It's the reason why we can't do anything about open drug use. But suddenly we have resources to enforce littering and illegal dumping. Now, I think we should be enforcing all of them. But I think it's a pretty clear and inconsistent standard on behalf of us as a city council to say, all of these other ones we can't enforce. This one, though, this one's okay. That seems to be a pretty clear inconsistency to me, and I don't understand why it's being treated any differently. Lastly, what about city property? What about property that's owned by the government? Who's going to receive a gross misdemeanor, right, for this penalty when it's on city property or when it's on government property? For me, again, I think it's good to keep everything clean. I think I've said that 7 times. But I do have issues with this one when it comes to stances that we've taken as a body or as city leadership. We've taken some pretty clear stances on some of the issues. This one does not seem to be falling into that same category, and for that reason, I wonder why.
Councilmember Gillen and Councilmember Klitzky.
Yeah, I'll just be really quick. So this ordinance, which, this is first reading, we'll be voting next week. But it really is harmonizing our own codes with legislation that was mentioned previously. It was passed by the Washington State Legislature, HB 2207, which is very common for us to do as a municipality. We did it last week with traffic calming to make sure that our codes and penalties are aligned. So, and obviously, illegal dumping is a huge issue in the city. It's not just folks that are experiencing homelessness that are engaging in this activity. So there's a lot of different facets to this issue, and looking forward and happy the administration brought this forward. And I think there's some more conversation that can happen too around vehicles, around public property, as Councilmember Bingle mentioned, but this really is specific to the new state law.
Councilmember Klitzky.
I just want to remind everybody that when we first started talking about this ordinance, we were thinking of situations where folks who have done remodeling jobs and other things, instead of taking it to the dump, they have gone into our neighborhoods where there's a dead-end road or other places and dumped a lot of things. Recently in 5 Mile, there was a situation where people had removed tiles that looked like asbestos and scattered them all over an area near where kids wait for their school bus stop, and neighbors had called and complained. That was very expensive for the city to clean up. So we do want to increase the consequences for those situations if neighbors do happen to have information for us and we are able to track down the people who do that kind of illegal dumping.
Any comment? Councilmember Bingle.
Yeah, and I'll say I don't disagree with any of that. I think it's good to enforce it equally across the board. My problem isn't with this ordinance in and of itself. My problem is that similar and related ordinances are deferred for whatever reason. I mean, everybody in here, I recognize many in here. I know many of you follow along with what's going on with the city. I'll let you make your own determination, right? I have my own thoughts. I think I understand why this is happening. But it is frustrating to see what in my mind is a pretty clear double standard when it comes to ordinances that are moving forward and ordinances that are not moving forward. And all I'm asking for is consistency out of us as elected leadership, which is when we set a standard or when we have some logic or when we have some reasoning, whatever it is, let's be consistent and apply it across the board.
I will have to echo that. I think this particular ordinance that's first reading, this illegal dumping, really is in alignment with the state. Some of our other ordinances are not in alignment with state law. So there is a distinct difference between what we're doing on one level and what we're doing on another. So we can look at this. And yes, we would all like enforcement. I like to see an officer give a ticket for somebody throwing gum wrapper on the sidewalk. But we know that's not true. Historically, state law can usurp city law. So we are just trying to be compliant and in alignment. So I know that we won't have agreement on this, but Councilmember Cathcart.
Yeah, I mean, to that point, the fact is we have to be in alignment with the state. We don't have a choice. And so if something is being offered that is prohibited at the state level, we would not be entertaining that. So I would disagree respectfully with the council president on that.
Any other council commentary? Seeing none, prepare to vote. Oh, just first reading. All right. At this point, we will resume back to the hearing, so I'm sure we'll hear more next week on this as we take a vote. Again, this is the time and place set for the public hearing on the biennial budget. We will start. The hearing is now called to order. We will hear if there's any staff reports. If there are no staff reports, we will proceed in the order. You got 3 minutes. And the list will start out with Jeff Johnson, Evan Woods, and Scott Burkhart.
Good evening, all. I am Jeff Johnson. I'm the Executive Director of Spokane Cops. And tonight I'm performing a little bit of a balancing act here in that I'm kind of biting the hand that feeds me. I'm here asking you all to reconsider the decisions that have been made and put us back into the budget. And yet, I'm biting the hand that feeds me. Anyway, so 30 years we've been a standard in the community, and here we are. I truly can only assume that the city has some sort of a plan that we just haven't been made a part of. In the last week, I've learned that both the mayor and Chief Hall have brought up metrics. I have never spoken of any sort of metric with either of them about anything, and so I don't know how they could possibly bring up metrics, because they wouldn't know what we measure, and I don't know what they would like to measure. So I put together a few, just so we could address it. So in 2024, in this year, we will do over 20,000 total volunteer hours. That's a lot. I challenge any private business, nonprofit, 20,000 hours of volunteer. We've done 45 events. We will fingerprint over 500 vehicles, and we will be involved with over 70 crime-free rental properties. That's a lot. I don't know how one can question those metrics. And I know there's concerns of when our shops open all the time. No, they're not open all the time. They're open because a volunteer has to go pick up a kid from school, or for whatever reason. And I know we get targeted on that a lot. And I know that there's a lot of talk about metrics. But honestly, metrics aren't truly what the cop shops are about. And if you haven't been in them, it's really hard to know what they are about. I'm going to try and touch on a couple here real quick while I can. We're working with Gonzaga University, Matt DeGarmo. He's a criminology professor. He has 5 students that we now have signed up as volunteers. Hopefully we can career path them at some point. We have Whitworth grad students working in the sociology department. I have an Eastern intern. We worked with Neighborhood Services for a trash smash day. Skylar Oberts, I want to do a deal with him. We've talked about it, where we could paint a cop shop and do a graffiti deal with in neighborhoods. Let's get our kids off the streets and into the alleys. Anyway, I'm asking you, please extend our contract so we'll have time to talk about what an RFP should look like. Thank you. Thank all of you. And I'm out of time. Anyway, thank you.
Evan Woods, and then Scott Burkhart.
Council President Wilkerson, council members, great to be here with you tonight. My name's Evan Woods. I'm the Executive Director of We Train Washington. I'm a little bit too tall for this podium, that's right.
Chris, could you show them where the button's at? We don't want you bending
special
over.
button on there. Advanced technology, I appreciate that. So I'm the ED of We Train Washington. We're launching the very first ever Meat Cutter Registered Apprenticeship Program here in Spokane, which I'm super excited about. It launches in January of 2025. Many of you have taken some time this summer and fall to kind of hear about the program, hear what we're about, hear what we're excited to bring to working class people here in Spokane. And tonight we're asking you to include a $40,000 addition to the budget to support this program, to fund Meat Cutter Apprenticeship tuition, to fund meat and supplies, to fund equipment for the initial lab setup, and to fund staffing for the program. This program is exciting. There's a lot of great updates. We've been approved by the state of Washington. We have our educational partner, which is Spokane Community College, and they have accredited the program and also agreed to house us at the apprenticeship center on campus, which is exciting. We have a fantastic instructor, John Hudkins, who's been cutting meat for 13 years at Rosars. We have employer partners like Fred Meyer and Safeway who have agreed to include up to $4 an hour wage premiums for graduates. So we've been in motion. We've been working hard on this program, and we're excited to launch. I have sent a breakdown of the $40,000, both in email and then also in hard copy that I think your staff should have for more information on it. This program, I believe, changes lives. So it teaches a skilled trade. It moves workers into the highest paid non-management position within the grocery industry. And it also provides careers with dignity to low-wage service workers, which are very hard to come by in our day and age. And there's a ton of stories I could tell. I remember right when I was very first starting this job, I talked with a woman, Angel, who was in an abusive relationship. She barely got out to work in the stores. She started the Meat Cutter program over 2 years. It taught leadership, it taught self-respect, and she was able to leave this dangerous relationship. And she literally says, the program saved my life. I could talk about a woman, Monica, who supported her 2 kids off the wages she earned after journeying out of this Meat Cutter program. I could talk about Gilbert Johnson III, who went from our meat pre-apprenticeship program that we have on the west side, we're excited to bring here in a year or so, into the Meat Cutter program, into a meat management position. Heather Pollock, same deal, pre-apprenticeship to meat management. Now she's one of our instructors. So I really do think it gives people a career pathway and changes lives. So we couldn't be more excited about partnering with the city of Spokane. We really hope for your support and welcome your support. And thank you so much for your time and supporting these really great working class jobs and these career pathways for everybody. And I'll take questions if anybody has any questions.
No questions, but thank you.
Okay, appreciate it, Council President. Y'all have a good night. Thank you.
Thank you. Scott, and after Scott, then Kelly Cruz.
Where's that button? I'm a short guy. And then Kelly will probably have to raise it back up. Good evening, council members. My name is Scott Burkhart. I am a city resident. I am also the chairman of the board of directors of Spokane Cops. In addition to that, I am a community corrections supervisor with the Washington State Department of Corrections. So I'm here kind of on a multifaceted front, supporting cops and the partnership they have with the city and with the police department, but also with the Department of Corrections. I know my time's going to go quick. I am going to kind of read my bullet points, so just to make sure I get through everything. Again, the positions I have within cops and the Department of Corrections, I've been involved with Spokane Cops as a DOC officer and supervisor for the last 23 years. Spokane Cops has been ingrained in this community for 30 plus years, and I think that we really need to take a little wider look at what this organization does and represents. We are 501c3 and historically have been linked to the Spokane Police Department. That partnership included Spokane Cops providing office space for police neighborhood resource officers for there to be a non-patrol presence that neighbors could access to address quality of life issues in their neighborhood. The partnership also included cop staff and or volunteers doing the work that depleted police department employees didn't have time to do. Just a few examples would include community callbacks for things such as burglary, vehicle prowlings, theft, etc. Those things that the police department doesn't have time to do. They're out there, they're answering calls, they're going from spot to spot. Fingerprinting vehicles that have been prowled in the neighborhoods, building photo and fingerprint packets for parents in case their children became missing in the schools and at community events, booking found property and or trying to return that property to the rightful owner when it's turned into the shop. The reality is, while our partnership with the Spokane Police Department is important and normally the focus, it is a very small piece of what this organization does in the community. I understand that Chief Hall and the mayor were not necessarily impressed with the metrics surrounding Spokane Cops. I would ask both he and the council to look at the broader picture. Spokane Cops has an infrastructure and partnerships in all corners of the city, and which has taken decades to build. If this organization is not funded, all of those brick and mortar shops will be shuttered and the community will not have neighborhood shops to go into in order to talk to a real person about the specific quality of life issues, such as the abandoned car that's been sitting in front of their house for 6 months, the nuisance home that with the squatters and drug activity during all hours of the day and night. It also allows a safe space that separated parents can transfer custody of their children. a safe space that buyers and sellers can conduct transactions from Craigslist and Facebook Marketplace and eBay sales. It also allows police patrol officers a safe space within their patrol
And
sectors.
thank you, Scott, your time is up.
Oh, see, I didn't have time.
Thanks,
Thank you.
Scott.
Next, Kelly Cruz, and after that, Victoria Bounds.
I think this is low enough. Good evening, Council President, council members. My name is Kelly Cruz. I'm a former volunteer with Spokane Cops, former board chair, and current board treasurer of Spokane Cops. Just a little history. 32 years ago, the residents of the city of Spokane, along with the administration at that time and Chief Mangan, formed an alliance, a partnership, citizens working alongside police and shops to provide public safety. For over 32 years, this organization has been dedicated and committed to that. We've also been very frugal about the money we get from the city. We haven't spent it on any luxuries. We've always returned a good investment on your investment. Currently, today, our volunteers represent a $4.9 million savings to the city in labor cost, which means with the current contract, that's roughly a $10 return on investment. So for every dollar you put in the program, you're getting $10 back. I'd like to see another program flip out of the air where you can get that. Moving on, the things that we spend on, we have 5 shops that we lease from individuals and then 2 others that are precinct. With those shops, we get them at a generous rate, but some of them we have to pay just a little below market rate. We also pay property taxes on those. Utilities such as Avista and the city utilities, which have continued to skyrocket and will go up again next year. So we also have 8 vehicles that we have, and we have insurance for those people. We only have 4 staff, paid staff. 2 of those are full-time, 2 are part-time. So you get a very good bang for your buck with this program. If this goes away, you heard Scott talk about the 30-year partnership in the community. That will be gone. And what I will let you know is, from my perspective on the board, December 1st, we're going to have to start contacting our leasers and let them know that we're going to have to start terminating leases. We don't want to come up on December 31st and have those people out in the cold. So it's up to you if you want to provide and support public safety in the city of Spokane. Thank you.
Thank you, Kelly. Please, no outbursts. Thank you. Victoria, and then Fran Popenier.
Good evening, council members. Thank you for having me here today. My name is Victoria E.B. Bounds, and I am a resident of Spokane. I serve as the president for the volunteers at Spokane Cops West, one of the 8 locations. And I have a little thing I'd like to say. So, as a dedicated volunteer, a mother of 4, and someone who believes deeply in the community and safety, I value the chance to contribute to the well-being of our neighborhoods. Spokane Cops plays a vital role in bridging the gap between the community and law enforcement. We act as a resource for the police department, connecting them with residents and addressing safety concerns. This partnership has enabled us to collaborate on a variety of projects that have made a tangible impact in our neighborhoods. This year, Spokane Cops West has partnered with local companies, nonprofits to support the bike bus launch kickoff in West Central. At this event, we helped registered bicycles for children and adults with also providing education to secure and safe riding practices. Additionally, we supported 3 trash mass events by providing volunteers and resources to help clean up multi-block areas and revitalizing our neighborhoods and fostering community pride. We also engage with schools offering resources like Operation ID, which provide parents with free fingerprinting, as mentioned earlier, for children, a critical tool for law enforcement in emergency situations. Many of our volunteers are trained in latent fingerprinting and are often called upon Crime Check to assist when car burglaries are occurring. This makes Spokane Cops one of the few reliable resources available to collect and analyze fingerprints in these situations. These are just a few examples of how Spokane Cop volunteers contribute to the community. The hard work and dedication of our volunteers, including myself, demonstrate the passion that exists with the city to create a safer, stronger neighborhood. Through education and community outreach, we help neighbors understand the importance of calling, reporting, and sharing information with law enforcement. This collaboration allows the police department to identify hotspots and nuisance areas, and more effectively, ultimately reducing crime and increasing safety. As we all know, Spokane faces a shortage of police officers, which makes it difficult to maintain consistent connections with the community. And even with the reintroduction of the NROs, a single officer can only do so much. Spokane Cops buildings provide officers with a safe place to take breaks and use facilities and stay connected. Spokane Cops West is a part of a larger network of 8 locations across the city, and together we play an essential role in Spokane's safety framework, working alongside nonprofits, community assembly, Department of Corrections, and other organizations to fill the gaps when resources are limited. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Victoria. Going to have Fran.
Fran, you are unmuted. Go ahead when you're ready.
Good evening. This is Fran Pappenlohr. Can you hear me?
Yep, go ahead.
Great. Thank you. Thank you, Council President Wilkerson and members of the City Council. I'm Fran Pappenlohr, lifetime resident of Northwest Spokane and board member of the Audubon Downriver Neighborhood Council. Our Neighborhood Council recently sent a letter of support for the contract renewal. Tonight, I'm representing the Community Assembly as outgoing Administrative Committee's Secretary. The Community Assembly passed an emergency resolution this afternoon, and I will read it as follows. A resolution by the Community Assembly of Spokane presented to the Community Assembly on the 13th day of November in the year 2024 regarding the city's contract with Spokane Community-Oriented Policing Services, or Spokane Cops. Whereas Spokane Cops is a 501c3 not-for-profit organization dedicated to crime prevention and safety for the Spokane community. Whereas Spokane Cops offers several programs and resources such as latent fingerprinting to catch vehicle prowlers, to crime prevention through environmental design. Whereas Spokane Cops has been a partner with the Spokane Police Department and Spokane neighborhoods since 1992 and been recognized by neighborhood councils as a strategic and essential service for neighborhood safety. And whereas the expiration of the city's contract with Spokane Cops without renewal would cause significant loss of safety services to the neighborhoods and create uncertainty in the anticipated return of neighborhood resource officers. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Community Assembly petitions the Spokane City Administration and City Council to engage in negotiations with Spokane Cops and supports the renewal of the Spokane Cops contract by the authority of the voting members of the Community Assembly. Randy McGlynn, outgoing Chair, Administrative Committee. Thank you so much for your consideration this evening.
Thank you, Fran, and we did receive that. Next, we have Jack Brubrick and then Christopher Savage. Got to push the button.
Oh, there's a button right there. Okay, up. That's easy enough. It's been a while since I've been before the city council, so this is kind of a neat thing. My name is Jack Brusick. I am a lifelong citizen of Spokane, Washington. I was a board member of Spokane Cops for 25 years. Of those 25 years, I was chair of Spokane Cops 13 of those years. I'm retired from the Washington State Department of Corrections after 37 years, and that was in 2015. And then I retired as chair of Spokane Cops in 2017. Spokane Cops came out of tragedy with 2 young women that were killed in the West Central area. And led by Chief Mangan, community activist Cheryl Steele, and others, the cop shops were formed. And the idea of the cop shops was to pool information to make Spokane a safer and better community. And it's worked well. The cop shop program has been designated by the Department of Justice as a national model
for police, corrections, and citizens' involvement. And I think sometimes people don't really understand that when you go neighborhood by neighborhood and you combine these resources where the community provides information on safety to the neighborhood resource officer, they meet with the community corrections officer, and they formulate a plan to deal with these issues. Okay? Our former Speaker of the House, Tom Foley, came to Spokane, and he hailed the program for what it has accomplished. And one of the things he said to me personally was, we need to get this program nationwide. Okay? Spokane, or community-oriented policing made great strides in Spokane, okay? But with the current laws the way they are in the state of Washington, I submit to you that we cannot afford to not have this program fully funded and in the Spokane community. I would consider, or my own personal opinion, I throw this out to you. I would consider if this program was defunded, it would be in the slap of the face of all the volunteers that have served this community for 30-plus years. And I know of no other nonprofit that can show you the metrics of what Spokane Cops has done in 30 years. So thank you very much.
Thank you. Christopher Savage, and then Terry Powell.
It's a little tall for me. No. Suppose it goes. All right. I'm a little bit short. Hello, good evening. My name is Christopher Savage. I live in District 3. Tonight I come to you to ask for a reconsideration on the biennium budget for COPS. COPS is Citizens-Oriented Policing Services, and I think that this organization embodies this to the nth degree. What they do for the community, it is impressive. Not only do they provide shredding day services that help with sensitive information, they also do concerts in the park, in Audubon Park or in Shadle Park, that bring the community together when sometimes they feel like they're kind of being torn apart. They provide so much that whatever you give to them, they will give so much more back. 3 to 1, 10 to 1, it is so much more. They provide fingerprinting for abandoned vehicle, or fingerprinting for vehicle prowling, as well as abandoned vehicles. And from when I go to the neighborhood councils with Northwest as well as North Hill, they actually, it seems like, for lack of a better term, kick the butt of the code enforcement to get going on to some of these abandoned vehicles. Because sometimes these abandoned vehicles are just sitting in these neighborhoods for so long. And then finally, when they go to COPS and they get addressed, it somehow is fixed within a week or two. And that's why I'm really impressed with COPS. So I would ask just for reconsideration on the biennium budget. And I would actually like to make a recommendation that with what happened last week with $400,000 to the ARPA funding, I don't see why we can't do the same for COPS. We really need to get rid of that funding by the end of the year, and I think this would be a perfect opportunity to give them $500,000, which they are just asking not for a long term, but just for one more year. So that would be my recommendation. Thank you this evening.
Thank you. Terry Powell, and then Cheryl Miller. Who was that? Pass. Terry. Cheryl Miller.
Good evening, President Wilkerson and council members. I am Cheryl Steele Miller, the original executive director of Spokane Cops and one of the originating founders. And I want to start out by saying that 33 years ago, actually in 1991, when my daughter's best friend was murdered, and I found myself having to explain that to a 10-year-old child. And the neighborhood rallied around it with a lot of great community leaders, great council members, and the mayor at the time, Sherry Bernard. All of it was really predicated on the fact that Chief Mangan, who was, if you remember, a brilliant man, had taught us something very important about Sir Robert Peel. I don't know if you remember who he is, but he is instrumental in improving and implementing the Metropolitan Police Act, which passed in 1892. So way back in the early 1800s, policing, the work of policing, it was said that the police are the public and the public are the police. The police are paid to give full-time attention to duties that are incumbent upon every citizen in the interest of community welfare and existence. When I left Spokane Cops, I had 924 volunteers and 103 different programs throughout the city and 11 different cop shops. The city, I believe the budget was $68,000 back then. That was 32 years ago. I left in the year 2000, 24 years ago. I was recruited to go to work for DOC. What I have learned in the last couple of days is this. I've looked at Spokane Cops' 2023 budget, and there are a few new programs that have taken place, the PAWS and the Horse Patrol, but there really isn't a lot of new innovative strategies going on within Spokane Cops because they're so busy with fewer volunteers because life has changed for a lot of folks. With fewer volunteers, they're so busy doing those very keen things that they have pointed out tonight, the things that police don't have time to do. Volunteers are doing that. Thousands, if not millions of dollars worth of work every year. So you are getting, like Mr. Cruz said, your bang for your buck. One of the reasons why we're here is because I also found out today from the board president that the mayor has not even been in the cop shops. So there has not been a good look at the framework of what exists today so that you can build on it with the budget that you're giving them. That's a huge missing component. So my suggestion is that you put together a blue ribbon team to go look at the infrastructure. You continue the budget, put together a blue ribbon team that is inclusive of council members and neighborhood council members as well as Spokane Cops volunteers to take a look at that infrastructure and see where you can make improvements. There can be vast improvements made through all the electronic neighborhood watches and things like that.
Thank you, Cheryl, for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you for your leadership so long ago. Louise Shadez, and then Kevin Wellington.
Good evening, Council President and council members. I'm Louise Chavez. Okay, thank you. I too had my children at Holmes Elementary when we lost Rebecca West and Nikki Woods. It was a horrible time 32 years ago, but our neighbors came together and we were able to get the cops shops running. Over the years, at least in West Central, we've had a great relationship with our neighborhood police person. She, for years we had Tracy. She would come to the neighborhood meetings, tell us what was going on. And I think that it's interesting to me that in this time of so much friction, that we're talking about getting rid of community-oriented policing. It makes absolutely no sense. It's like there's 8 cops shops right now. The funding that we passed is to provide, I believe, 7 resource officers. To me, it's a perfect match. 7 resource officers, 8 cop shops. Perfect. Let's put those policemen in those cop shops. It's a great relationship. If we want to have our children and everyone a better relationship with our police, why are we stopping the cop shops after 32 years? I think it's fine to look at a budget. I think it's fine to say, maybe we can tweak this, but don't just close our doors at the end of the year. In West Central, that is a vital, vital resource on Boone Avenue. So please, please support our cop shops. Thank you.
Thank you. Kevin Wellington. And after Kevin, Ron Harden.
Good evening, Council. I'm Kevin Wellington. I live up in the northwest Indian Trail area of Spokane. I've been volunteering now, this is coming up on my 5th year at the Northwest Shop at the Shadle Center. The thing I really like about the volunteering part is the community comes into us with problems. And I mean, they come in and they are upset. They are crying, they are hurting, and they see us first. Us, not an officer, not a social worker, not a healthcare worker. We get to deal with them first. And lo and behold, if we can't seem to calm them down and we point them in the right direction to go, we have books in there that we can open up and we can get them a resource to something right away. If I have an issue, I don't know the answer right away. You know, I tell those people, I says, give me a minute and I'll get the right answer for you, because thank God I have some great connections in this city through a lot of people. I could call them up and say, hey, what can I do to help this person? And they tell me, which is great. You ask us to help the city out. We go out in our own personal vehicles. We go out and we do a NOP, Neighborhood Observation Patrol. We look at stuff. We see the abandoned cars. We see the junk. We see people around in areas they shouldn't really be there. Okay, as we drive by, we stop. We could take a photo if we have to. We take a report. I could do it right on my phone and send it right on in. That's another thing we got to talk about, is how we can get that to the police right away. But other than that, a lot of times is we're right there. There's so many times that we've had to help people. We have the Narcan. We have the defibrillators. We're trained in CPR. It's like we're just a volunteer. You're not paying us. I use my own personal vehicle. A lot of us use our own personal vehicles to do things. So please remember that when you think about funding for our cop shops, because we're saving a lot of money for the city. I got a lot of things I could ask you where some of the funding is going, but I'm going to run out of time because I could get pretty deep in on especially the photo cameras that we have set up in the school zones. I've checked it out. The money is going. I need to know where it's going. All right, thank you. Appreciate it.
Next, we have Ron. And after Ron, we have Robert Hubler.
Good evening. My name's Ron. I'm a volunteer at the Shadle Cop Shop. I've been doing that for about 3 years, ever since the cop shop closed down a drug house in our neighborhood. And that's why I started volunteering. And you know what? I guess the elephant in the room is inadequacy. We've been accused of being inadequate by the mayor, by the new police chief, and you know what? We are. We're inadequate. There's a lot of inadequacies that I hear about. Every time I get a phone call from your constituents, their car has been broken into, and they are unhappy. And I have to tell them the police department is not going to respond to them because it's a property crime, and you know what? We don't have a property crimes unit in the police department anymore. But I listen to them. And you know, that's inadequate, I guess. But what happens if something really serious is told to me? There's a drug house in their neighborhood, like I talked about. What do I have to do? Well, I have to put it in the computer. And you know where my computer goes to in the cop shop? Nowhere. Our computers do not interface with the police department, believe it or not. So I have to use the magic of email to contact our leadership in our sector and let them know about this drug house, which I do on a regular basis. Captain Hendren tells me he hears from me all the time. And you know, our computers are inadequate, and you know, we do the very best we can. Well, one thing we do, and we do well, is we listen. Because we have the opportunity to hear from your constituents on a regular basis. We listen to them. We answer their questions. Heard Kevin talk about that. That's one of the things that we do very, very well. And yes, we are very adequate at listening. You know, the citizenry only have 3 minutes to talk to you. They talk to us for a long, long time. We listen and we respond. That's what we do for you, and we do it on a regular basis. No, we're not open all the time. We do the best we can with the 22 volunteers that we have. We're open about 28 hours a week. But we are there for your constituents. We try to do a very good job. And you know what? When the police chief looks into the computer system, he won't find anything from us because our computers do not talk to the police department. But we are here for the citizenry. Thank you for listening.
Thank you so much. Next, we have Kevin Burke. Oh, I'm sorry, come on down. I took my glasses off. Robert. And after you, Kevin Burke.
Good evening. Thank you for listening to us. I am Robert Hubler, the president of the Neville Woods Shop. This past week, we helped several people. We dusted several cars for fingerprints and turned them into the police department. We also had a couple people come in with ID theft problems. One woman actually has lost several $1,000s at this point. We advised her how to handle the issues and where to go to help. We had another woman come in that did not had a bill for several $1,000s from a major company that appeared to be a fraud. We helped her point her direction to go for help, and we also filed a complaint with state attorney generals on her behalf. We had a Chinese woman coming in, not very good in English, that had an accident, hit and run, did not know how to report it. We went online and filed a report for her. We also had another Chinese woman come in. We didn't understand the problem was because she did not speak English. The police went in our shop, tried to help her, but they did not speak English and could not find a translator. Using my neighborhood contacts, I found a translator, and we spent an hour and a half with her today to understand the problem and finally getting her help. We also had another woman complaining that she was being stalked. And we were able to get the information, turn it over to the police with a good background on what's going on. Unlike Crime Check, we have time to sit down and speak with these people. We can spend hours to get to understand the problems and point them in the direction where help can be found. And we do the same with people with neighborhood problems. How to collect information, how to get it to the police. They can turn the information into us, and then we can email it to our local department. We provide these people with social help, not just police help, but with social problem helps. And we have a long list of agencies that we deal with and we can connect them with. We do need to continue these programs to support the public, and we will need the money to stay open. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Kevin Burke, and then Karen Stratton.
Thanks for having me. My name's Kevin Burke. I've been a lifelong resident of Spokane and very proud of it. I've been a cop volunteer for about 4 years now. I started up at Southeast, which is our shop up in Lincoln Heights. And I've been doing things like fingerprinting, Operation Family ID, which 3 weeks ago we did an Operation Family ID at Francis Scott, myself, John Diekman, and Tim Pease, and we fingerprinted 94 kids. I mean, it was unbelievable. I mean, it was, and the parents were pretty impressed, needless to say. About 2 years ago, Sandy McIntyre came to myself and Mark Arnold and asked if we would be interested in helping out down at Cops East Central. And that was a location that it had been in the church down there, and quite recently, around that time, had moved to the old where the library was. And it's down an area by Underhill Park and everything. So anyway, I agreed to do that. And the first couple weeks I was down there, I thought, you know, I think I'm going to walk around and, you know, meet some of the people and everything, and, you know, let them know. I think a lot of the people didn't even know that we were there, type thing. So anyway, I walked around with these brochures. It says, "Don't be a crime victim." And it basically talks on here about ways to make your vehicle safe in the area, keep your home safe, things like when you go out of town to shut your paper down, and that type of thing. But anyway, through the course of walking the area, I talked to about between 45 and 50 people. And probably the biggest complaint that I got was that they didn't know that we had moved, that the shop had moved and everything. But overwhelmingly, what I got was a lot of thank yous. Thank you for being here. We appreciate your presence, which really felt good because, I didn't know what I was going to encounter, to be honest. But it was very, very positive. There was a huge appreciation. And I think you people are probably aware of the East Central area. I mean, it's a pretty diverse area, population-wise and everything. But there was a lot of thank yous going around. And anyway, so I hope that with that in mind, you'll consider, refunding the program and everything. Thank you.
Thank you. Come on down, former Councilmember Stratton. So glad to have you back in the House.
Do you remember how a microphone works?
I think I'm good. Can everybody hear me? So I have such a demure voice. Thank you so much for giving all of us from COPS some time to stand up and talk about our feelings with this latest budget. I just want to reiterate something because I read it today and I was astounded at how many programs COPS has. The Neighborhood Observation Patrol, Pause on Patrol, latent fingerprinting, Operation Family ID, bicycle registration, code enforcement reporting, crime-free rental properties program, Block Watch, Business Watch, property block-off, drop-off, identity theft, education and victim advocates, Operation ID, marking possessions in your home so if they get stolen and they find them, they can get them back to you. They have victim advocates, which were so important to council members during COVID. We used them more and more as COVID got worse and worse on people. Those crime advocates were fabulous. Department of Corrections utilizes space in the cop shops to meet with clients. They are also there. They took a lot of calls from me in my years on council from neighbors wanting to know about that guy that lives in the house over there and is he bad, that kind of thing. It's an amazing program. The COPS program, and this is what frustrates me, and I'm going to just kind of be blunt here. We go on and we talk about community-oriented policing, and we've got to have COPS is community-oriented policing. And back in the day, we had neighborhood resource officers in the neighborhoods working in the cop shops, and that was community-oriented policing. You actually had officers that would do West Central in the cop shop, walk down the street, people knew who they were, they'd go to the West Central Community Center. That's how it worked. And so I just want to be really clear because sometimes I think we make things harder to understand than they really are. COPS is community-oriented policing. If we can get those NROs back in the neighborhoods, you blend that and that's your program and it's successful. I will also say that COPS shops are also a place for kids, that if there's a problem at home and they're afraid, they don't want to go home, they can go to a cop shop and get the help they need. So that's important. For the past 30 years, our cop shops have been visible, concrete proof that local government supports community safety efforts and community policing at the neighborhood level. That a volunteer program working alongside the police department can make neighborhoods safer and our community stronger. Please, please talk to your constituents in your neighborhoods before any decisions are made to defund or to cut off the COPS program, because I think that would be very disrespectful to our neighbors, our neighborhoods, and I think it would affect the relationships that we have with them. Thank you.
Thank you.
It's good to see you all. Sorry about my cold.
That concludes all our testimony tonight on the budget hearing. I'll request a motion to continue the hearing until November 25th.
So moved.
So moved in second. All those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Any noes? Abstentions? The hearing will be continued. That concludes our legislative agenda. We will now go into open forum. Councils are amenable.
Council President, we had 26 folks sign up for open forum tonight. Per council rules, there are 20 spots. So I am going to randomize our list of participants. And we will take the first 20. If I can actually get this randomizer to work here.
As you're doing that, please remember you have 2 minutes, and please direct all your comments to the chair.
Apologies. So I've taken the random number generator all the way down through everybody who signed up. I'm going to sort it smallest to largest. And everybody with the exception of Sunshine, HT, Will Hewlings, Eugene Knowles, Matthew Darren, and Fran Populina will be able to speak tonight. So we'll start with Noah Dickens.
Is Noah in the house? Or
Noah, are you here? Okay. If there's no Noah, we'll go to Chris Wall.
Name and
Chris?
name left.
Clarissa? Yes, come on down, Chris.
Hello, everybody. Normally this would be slightly rehearsed, but I'm at the point of frustration, I would say, with the whole thing. Like, you can't just sweep people under, well, I mean, you could try, but America was built to last. It was pretty much dirt cheap to run. The only thing that really changed is people and policy and their greed. That being said, I've been constantly homeless on this street for a very long time, and it's difficult to actually know why until you find purpose, right? I believe in America. I know that America believes in freedom. Like, what's happening outside is not recreational camping, it's survival, right? I'm from negative 56 degrees, North Dakota, and where I'm from, when someone says I'm cold, it's a death sentence, right? That being said, I came in here and tried to talk about like what could be done, volunteer centers and stuff, but I assure you, one way or another, I won't let people freeze to death, even if I have to barricade myself or build a fort, or even just run fires like at night. I want to behave and like work with y'all, right? Which would be a pleasure to do so, because all I really wanted to do is go back to college and be smarter than the problems, right? But that being said, smart over dumb, faith over fear, right? By not having toilets outside, you guys, it's causing problems. You know that with just a little bit of ash, you can bury feces and it won't spread disease. You know that Norwegian composting toilets are pretty cheap to make. You know that if, instead of like infringing on people's freedoms and like incarcerating them for trash that, or finding them for trash that gets pushed off because they keep on getting pushed out,
Thank you,
right? We
Chris.
could just use the same people to clean up trash.
Thank you, Chris. Your time is up.
Right, I'll see you outside.
Next up is Noah. Noah? And after Noah, if Clarissa is here.
Hello, my name's Noah Dickens. I'm a fourth-generation Spokenite. I've been writing to City Council about addiction and how our government's dealing with it. And I'm angry and disturbed that the policies that are being implemented are yielding no positive results. Like, our minimum acceptable behavior in the community has changed regarding addiction. Like, if people came in here and started disrupting this meeting, They would stop them from doing it because it doesn't meet the minimum acceptable behavior. They'd remove them and give them a warning. If they kept doing it, they get removed from the community. You'd go to jail wherever, you get out, and if you keep doing it, you just can't be in the community. Why can you set a drug camp up by my house? Do prostitution, drug dealing, open use drugs, stolen property. What's going on? Why did we move the minimum acceptable behavior to include drug camps? This is ridiculous. This is our government that said that's okay. What the hell are you guys thinking? That doesn't help addicts. Give them the options like you used to do before. Figure something out other than the drug camp. Go get help and treatment. Taxpayers will pay for it. That is very loving and empathetic. Or go to jail. Problem solved.
Thank you.
Clarissa, and if Clarissa isn't here, then Richard Kirshen.
Good evening, council members.
Welcome.
I'm Richard Karishan. My work location is 2nd and Spokane Street, across from the Catholic Charities, low-income housing units, Marilee and Butter Haven. So I'm quite familiar with our situation here. And I'd like to speak a little bit about downtown and businesses downtown, and I'm included in it, and so are a lot of other people. Citizens, visitors to our city, when they come to our city, they want to feel safe. And they want to feel special, and they want to feel good about coming downtown. What's very important here is that we don't lose the beautiful attributes that we have today, and we have a lot of them. Let's just do a little bit better. Keep that convention and that retail trade coming in. Keep the storefronts filled, no vacancies. Let's not lose city tax revenue or property tax revenue, which all of the city here needs. Let's keep good paying jobs coming. We got all these great colleges here. We got smart young people. Let's not them get them away to big cities where the jobs are much more lucrative. I think it starts right at the top. A strong, committed mayor, city council, setting the tone for building a strong city, and I think law and order has to be a big part of that. Obviously, we've been talking about the police a lot today. Starting, backing our police force to provide safety, we'll encourage more visitors, more citizens downtown. Spokane's the heart, or the downtown is the heart of the city, and it's a very special place. Now, for second-time homeless drug offenders, theft crime violators, let's make them choose between rehabilitation or community service in lieu of prison or jail time.
Thank you, Richard. Your time is up.
Thank you.
Next up is Barbara, and then Karen Fortney, and then Sunshine Wiggin. Or I'm sorry, Sunshine. We might get to you later. We're going to go to Jack.
Karen had to leave.
Pardon me?
Karen had to leave.
Hello, this is my first time being here. And I have the privilege of being the president of the East Spokane Business Association. And I've got to tell you how much I love Spokane. And if you talk to any business owner, which I know many of you are business owners, have been business owners, work with business owners, you know the passion that each person has for Spokane. Recently, in our elections, our citizens have spoken. Our citizens said, safety in Spokane, thriving in Spokane is a priority. They say, you know what, we want Spokane to continue to be beautiful. We want to go downtown. We don't want people to say, I don't want to go downtown or move out of Spokane, because we have an amazing area compared to so many other states and cities in the United States. The one thing I want to say is that our public safety here is key. And I know that out there with each of the compassions and purposes that are out for laws. It's so important that we continue to remember that keeping Spokane clean, supporting the businesses, supporting the residents, when you hear that when you're making the decisions, truly make that a priority and listen to what the people are saying when they talk about the cops being out there, driving by businesses, taking care of the children. Those are so important. They're not just budget items. Sometimes we have to think beyond budget items and realize what it is that's in the heart of Spokane that makes us special and different. So please, as we talk about that, remember the residents, safety, businesses, thriving, and keeping Spokane amazing, because we truly are one of the best cities that I know I've been to. Thank you.
Thank you.
If Karen isn't here, then we'll go to Jack Brusick and then Aaron Rifkin.
I wasn't going to comment any further, but I feel that I have to. One of the things that I think is glaringly overlooked in terms of public safety, community safety, is the laws that have been passed in the last 20, 25 years through Washington State. Before I retired, I saw people who had 15 felony convictions who had not seen the inside of a state prison. 15. And if you don't hold people accountable, you can pass all the laws you want. And they're on the books now. They are on the books. But the consequences have been watered down to the point of, and in particular Washington State, property crimes are legal in this state. Pure and simple. There's few or no consequences. I've seen people that have been through drug treatment facilities on taxpayers' money 10 times inpatient drug treatment programs. Okay? I'm not against anti-treatment at all, but I say we have to realistically change some laws and give people the opportunity to bite at the apple once or twice, and then they don't take it, then they have the accountability sets in. Because I expect, as now a senior citizen of Spokane, that there are the best trained, best equipped, best paid first responders in our community. So when my time comes, when my time of need comes, or your time of need comes, you've got a pretty good chance of making it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Aaron Rivkin, and then Chris Kenny, and then Kevin Burke.
Hey, good evening. My name's Aaron Rifkin. I own Ladder Coffee Roasters here in, I almost said Arizona, that's where I'm from, in Spokane. And I want to talk about accountability just for a second. I'm a two-time felon, ex-heroin addict, and it's what accountability has got me into the position where I now have the ability to influence our city and build, not just from a community standpoint, but a taxpayer standpoint. You know, we just passed through a new sales tax measure that was for the sake of the safety of our city. I want to talk about the part of accountability is, you know, I sat next to a gentleman over the past few city council meetings or different roundtables who was known and unfortunately shut down City Hall last week. He's known for arrest warrants. He had arrest warrants. He was at city council meetings. This person was not held accountable. And we wonder why in our city we don't have the appropriate things to help individuals. It's because we don't have the accountability to hold these people accountable. This person shows up, is in front of your guys' faces. We know that he had arrest warrants, but yet he still had the ability to be in places like this. You know, from a business standpoint, 1/10, you know, you want to talk about a hard economic, you know, turn, not just for, you know, our city, but our small businesses. whether you want to know it or not, like many of you guys do, like 1/10 is still going to hurt us as a small business. But what I would recommend is to really pressure the mayor and understand that if you're going to pass city, safety, you can't just add a arts department and neglect things like cops. So my recommendation is to look at the budget, look at the safety, and know that we absolutely need it in our city. Thanks.
Next up is Chris Kinney, and then Kevin Burke, and then Ron Harden.
So I'm on kind of way different issue than everybody else, and I'm going to make it really short. I appreciate the Spokane Scape. I live in Audubon Park. I've done all my research. 87% of the homes in Audubon Park have a 1.5 times size of the front yard. I'm hardscaping 1,500 square feet of my backyard right now, and I got told that I'm not able to apply for the water refund because it has to be seen from the road. If you have dogs, you have to have fences. I put $10,000 worth of vinyl fences to upgrade my neighborhood. My neighbors have now upgraded theirs to match mine. I've done things to improve my neighborhood, and now I'm not eligible because it has to be seen from the road. And I would like to know from the city council, that doesn't make any sense to me. And I guess I'm just coming in here for an explanation of why I've been turned down for this. You guys have been very helpful with me in the past with ADU permits and stuff like that, and I really appreciate it. And a lot of the feedback I got from city council, and she's here right now, from prior city council members, is that they were just unaware that these, so that's my concern, is I guess I just want feedback from you guys. Are we doing this for an altruistic reason, so we're using less water? Because I'm all about it. Anything to help Spokane's water. But the front yards are so tiny, yet I'm able, and my neighbors are able to, and we're not eligible for these programs, and it just doesn't make sense to me. Are we doing it for cosmetic reasons to say we're doing it, so people drive through Spokane and see it? Or are we doing it for the fundamental water resource minimization that this is supposedly the premise of? So I'd like some feedback from somebody about what we can do different with this program.
Would you leave your information for us, and we'll follow up with you?
I absolutely will.
Yep.
Yeah. Do I give to you?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Next up is Kevin Burke, and then Ron Harden.
Thank you.
Ron, and then Christine Quinn.
Shucks, this is my means to get 5 minutes in front of you instead of just 3. I'd just like to speak on behalf of our 22 volunteers at the Shadle Cop Shop. From January through October, we gave this city 1,783 hours of volunteer time. Minimum wage for that would have been $29,000. In Washington State, those that put this stuff together say $31 is more appropriate in terms of volunteer time. That means $59,739.46 has been given to this city gratuitously by our volunteers. And we're very proud of that. I'd like to invite all of you to come by and see us, because I don't know if y'all have or not. I know Councilwoman Klitsky came up by and saw us. We'd like to see all of you come by and see exactly what we do, because we're proud of it. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Next up is Christine Quinn. And after Christine, we'll go to Reggie Camps.
Hi, I'm Christine Quinn. I live in Spokane. And here's something I'm hearing a lot. This isn't my Spokane. And it's really heartbreaking. What is happening? Businesses closing.
Hey, Christine, could you speak into the microphone a little bit more?
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Lower the thing. There's a button. You can lower
The button? Oh. Oh, I didn't know about that. And as a result, people have gotten together and started a new group, SOS, Save Our Spokane. And this city is in crisis. And there's people in the streets in crisis. It's really inhumane to let this go on. It's just, I mean, you go down to the Division area and it's a dystopian nightmare. It really is. And with fentanyl, street medicine, heroin, I mean, you got 30, 40 years with a heroin addict. With a fentanyl user, you have about 18 months. And if they don't die, they often suffer brain damage. There's people that leave the hospital and they go into long-term care. And if you've probably noticed, there's a lot of people around there in wheelchairs. And that's because they've lost limbs from frostbite. When you're under the influence, you are unable to do what needs to be done. You lose self-preservation. And to allow this to happen is horrific and shouldn't be done anymore. And I don't understand it. And, you know, kind of what I always say, and I'm a former social worker, so I feel like I have a really good grasp of this. What I always say is, ask any addict if they want to go back, and I don't think you'd find one that would say yes. So please save our city.
Thank you.
Next up is Reggie Camps, and then Wendy Fishburne, and then John Diekman.
Hello, my name is Reggie Camps, and first of all, I just want to let you guys know that you are talking to a convicted felon. You are also talking to somebody who is a success story from those cop shops, from those DOC officers that helped me get my life together when I was in community custody. I am a success story of going to jail because we absolutely had laws that prevented open use on the streets, that prevented me from selling drugs to the kids. The cop shops, the resource officers that kept me from openly and freely doing the things that I did. What this produced in this city, making sure that we were safe, that's now safe for my kids, what this produced was somebody who now gives back to the city, who now goes out to the treatment centers, by the grace of God, gets to speak and tell his story about what changes. Okay, I am telling you, what is happening in this city is a desensitizing to what's happening. I don't want my children used to the guy that's falling out on the street. I don't want my kids not able to go to the parks because there is somebody that is nodding out that might be dead. Driving down the street, my kids have to see me stop regularly. Is that guy dead or is he just laying there? We are not helping by contributing to what they're doing. If they don't have consequences, if there is not something that they have to lose, they will not change. I would not change until there was a point that this happened. I implore you, as I hear about the lack of police officers, as I hear about the defunding of the cops, these are the people that helped me change my life along with the grace of God. Okay, I am letting you know my past is pretty rough. However, now I am a productive member of society. I give back to the children. Please don't continue to push the nonsense and push the ability to stay in a place that they feel there is no help for. It is not okay for what's happening in this city.
Thank you. Your time is up. Please, no applause or we will clear the chambers.
Next up is Wendy, and then we have John Diekman, and then after that, Krista Featherstone.
Good evening, City Council President. How can you speak after that? Nice job, Reggie. That is really what we're coming here to talk about pretty much weekly. I know you guys know that as we're looking at the difference between the housing first and the addiction first response. So I know you guys know me, Wendy Fishburne, marriage and family therapist. I'm the vice president of the East Spokane Business Association and a regular at the Homeless Coalition. So I straddle both worlds, and we are looking at what is compassion and when helping hurts. So as a mental health professional, I need to see when helping hurts and when our good intentions are causing harm. And so as you guys look at our budget, this is where you can be fiscally responsible to not fund programs that continue harm. And I would put Catholic Charity right there because they're causing harm to the individuals that live there, causing harm to the businesses around them, and causing harm to our beautiful community. And I would ask you to be fiscally responsible and yes, fund cops. And yay, thank you for supporting the mayor's law enforcement corps surge. That's great. I was devastated, of course, that she decided to close track in November before it starts freezing. So, again, the Save Our Spokane movement really is asking for common sense responses so that we can be helpful and not harmful in what we're doing. Really appreciate you guys listening to your people. Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Next up is John, and then Krista Featherstone, and then Kevin Wellington.
Technology advanced, I can figure this out by myself. Actually, I apologize. I was planning on doing testimony supporting the cops, so I'll try to make this as quick as I can. In the Inlander article last Thursday, Chief Hall made the comment that he's looking at actual statistics that those support the budget, not just a matter of what we do and how long we do it and stuff, but actually what is the impact of what we do. Our system right now reports on the volunteers that work on a certain program, the program itself, the time that it took to do the program and when it started. But there's no mention of what the impact was as far as what did it really improve, what did it do? And it's almost no way you can do that. The system at least make it one that you can query that success. For example, on October 30th at Francis Scott Elementary School, they put on a program, and it's a little bit kind of like a trade show type thing where they go into a parking area and they had a table set up. And one of the tables was we set up for doing the OFID. That's Operation Family ID that you've heard before mentioned. Essentially what we're doing is we're taking fingerprints from children, providing those fingerprints in a card to the parents. So in the unfortunate event that the child gets lost, the fingerprints can actually be used to help identify the child and return the child back to the family sooner. So we go in there and we set up a table and we do this for 2 hours. So you have 3 volunteers running for 3 hours of time, or 2 hours of time for each person. And that really, okay, great, that's nice. But what's the impact on the child? Or what's the impact on the actual event? Well, it's what Kevin had mentioned earlier, kind of stole my thunder. In 2 hours, the 3 volunteers took fingerprints from 94 children, provided that information to the parents. And that neighborhood is actually kind of an underprivileged neighborhood, if you know the area down by Francis Scott. And many of them there have probably less appreciation for the officers, the business, or for the police officers. So we feel like we got so many thank yous from those parents that we kind of separate a gap between the police and the community. So just please consider that what you see in the numbers doesn't really adequately support the impact we're having on the community. So thank you.
Thank you.
Next up is Krista, and then Kevin Wellington, and then Tanya.
Good evening. Thank you for allowing me to speak. I'm a resident and a second chance employer and a board member on the ESBA. So my question tonight is, what has this administration done for Spokane? Among other things, this administration has closed the track shelter, forcing people out into the freezing cold to die, and they're dying on my property. We are defunding the volunteer cops program, further hurting the community and our police department, canceling the bridge meant to connect our law enforcement with our community. We've also cut the Spokane Police Department budget, resulting in crime, prostitution, and open drug use, trespassing, private property damage, and I'm a witness to all of this on practically a daily basis. When I go and come from my business, I see this every day. This administration is also attempting to make our city more beautiful by punishing businesses with fines for trash left by trespassing people. We're going to punish the tax-paying victims. Tax dollars. We've given tax dollars under the guise of public safety. Well, let's see it. I say, let us see the public safety. I'm deeply disappointed in the direction of this city's leadership. I feel betrayed. When voters passed the public safety levy earlier this year, it was a very clear message. Spokane residents want safer streets, more police officers, and real solutions to crime. We need to turn it around, and we need to do it fast. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Next up is Kevin Wellington, and then Tanya, and then Rick Bocook.
Just like Ron said, nice, I get a couple more minutes. Beautiful. I would just want to know that, I, as a citizen, voted this last election, and we wanted that Proposition 1 to go through, and it went through. We voted it. And I hope that the city council takes that money and puts it where it belongs, not into something that our supposedly mayor might want to do. So make sure all you guys are on the same page. I would appreciate it, not only myself, but the rest of the citizens of this great city. Thank you.
Thank you.
Next up is Tanya. Tanya Comstock, are you here in the back? And then we'll go to Rick for now, Rick Bocook, and then Jim Lighty, and then Eugene Knowles.
I hear the same stories constantly from people. They apparently don't understand the history of this city. I remember the former police ombudsman said that Spokane forgets things after 6 months. Somebody's bringing up the property crimes. That goes back to Ann Kirkpatrick. She's the one who got rid of it. She was a police chief. Why don't you go talk to her? And then the constant criminalization of the homeless. Sitting Lila is one of them. I was there when the first one passed out. I'll say it again. One of the attorneys specifically made sure that constitutional expressive activity was in there to keep that legal. So people, now here's one of the big, people talking about the crime. They won't, the business community in downtown, they refuse to talk about the 50 level 2, level 3 sex offenders. The public, the child safety zone has been eliminated from this city. So people see the drug addicts, the sex offenders love the drug addicts because you're focusing on them, but you don't know about who's in the parks, who's at the plaza. And maybe even people in this very room, are sex offenders, and you don't know it. I know it. And I'll point them out, heartbeat. But they don't talk about it. They don't talk about this twisted group of individuals. Refuse to. But yet it's a problem in the downtown Spokane that you don't see because it's hidden. Because they're nice. They're predators. You worry about your daughters? That's the ones you should be worrying about, is the sexual predators, because they're down here. And you should be talking about getting a child protective zone back in Spokane where they're not allowed to go where children are. They can do it right now. They can go into that park where children, they can sit right at the playground and they can watch kids, and nothing is done about it. That's what you should be focusing on first. Go to the worst stuff.
Thank you, Rick.
Thank you.
One more call for Tanya Comstock. All right, and then we'll go to Jim Lighty, and then Eugene Knowles.
Good evening. My name is Jim Lighty. I'm the executive director of Citizen 926, a nonprofit that helps people with public records and community resources. I would like to ask if the council could possibly start reviewing the policies and procedures for public records. There seems to be a few problems with them. The length of time to process and receive public records is causing for a backlog. And there's a cost to all of this, where if a citizen makes a public records request, if that request meets a certain criterion, there will be a charge to the citizen for that requested record. Once it's complete, the records that were processed are deleted and not used again. This means that if another person asks for the same records, the process starts all over again, costing the taxpayers and that citizen again. The records also expire. If you get a notification that your records are available and you don't respond to that within 30 days, even if you've waited almost a year for those records will be deleted, and you won't have access to them. We also have multiple agencies that use GovQA, such as the City of Spokane, Spokane County, Washington Emergency Response Center, and the Spokane Transit Authority. And all of them are inconsistent with how they are used. There is no standardization. So I ask that the City Council considers looking at the policies and procedures of public records and possibly revamps it so it's more user-friendly and economically sensible for citizens and for the city. Thank you.
Thank you.
Eugene, you're up next, and then Matthew Duran, if you're still here.
Eugene Knowles, been here in Spokane since 2010. Been on summer vacation down in Texas, my hometown down there, but I'm back. Okay, this cops thing, they need a shop right here downtown, and they need one in over the county building. Give them numbers just like the police stations here. I didn't know they were so good. If you guys cut this, I'm gonna have a talk with some of y'all. Y'all better get your business together. These guys know what they're doing. Now, this homeless thing. I'll say it again. I was homeless for 10 years at the end of my career, but I was a construction worker for 40 years. Spokane, and I'm talking about since I've been here, has a serious aversion to infrastructure for homeless. Spokane has a serious aversion for professional staffing, so they can't provide the services. Now, someone just said, yeah, they turned these people out here in December. This mayor is facing headwinds, just like the previous mayor faced headwinds on COVID. This mayor is facing headwinds on the budget and the police chief. I guess he's down in the Tri-City or something, that left without notice. Okay, we gotta pull together here in Spokane or we're gonna fall apart. Thank you.
Thank you, Eugene.
Matthew Duran, are you still here? Okay, we'll go back up to Sunshine.
What was the last one after Matthew?
Oh, did we miss one?
I placed my name on the list before Jack Brusick, so I was waiting for it to come up. I don't know how it got eliminated.
Okay, we'll get you next, Kelly. Yep, go ahead, Sunshine.
I don't know how do you get this? Yep, that's the button. Is this it?
Yeah.
Is it low? Okay. I don't know.
Chris was trying to get it down to it, and it didn't work.
Well, I guess that's it, huh?
Just give it a bang.
Bang. Boo-boo. Okay. Sunshine.
She got nervous and it went down.
Yeah. This is Sunshine Wiggin from Spokane. Slowly and surely, you are becoming exactly who you need to be. And I think everybody should take that into account. The situations that you are going through wisen you and humble you to be exactly what you were meant to be. I don't know if any of you have ever tried to fight a gang legally in the court system. Now, this is just another subject, period. But one of the hardest things for people that fight gangs in the justice system is you don't know who the gang is having attack you. Say you get shot at. You have to go and get a restraining order against every single individual. It's not the person that started it. I can't even get a restraining order against the person that started it because I don't have her birth date. So this is something that a lot of people face all across America, not just here. And I think it's really important to remember that we don't always know who is attacking us. But I think that with time, my second mom always said,
don't let it bring you down that this happened to you. Life is delicious. And we're all trying to get a piece of the pie. We're just trying to live happy. And I think that even though this system is broken in this way, it has prevailed and helped me in other ways. But it makes me very angry when I'm shot at and it isn't even gone. There's witnesses, and then nobody even goes to check with the witnesses. The cops didn't even go and ask them. So was the gang involved in that they didn't check? How deep are they in the blue collar and white collar? That's my question. I don't know how to fix that problem. It's always going to be there. It's always been there. It's like when we used to bootleg the wine and the jugs, you know. It's something that's always going to be there. But I
Thank you,
think it's
Sunshine. Your time is
important to
up.
remember you guys are exactly who you're supposed to be.
Thank you.
Go Kelly. And after Kelly, HT.
Good evening. Recently, the citizens rewarded the city with a sales tax increase based on the fact that it was promoted as a public safety vehicle. I'm asking this council to do something unique and brave. Pass a budget ordinance that puts that in a restricted public safety fund so it can't be mixed with other funds, particularly the general fund in the city of Spokane. If you really want to give your trust back to those people that voted for it, for the citizen and public safety, please do that. Because other than that, it's going to be the same old bait and switch. Thank you.
Quick point of clarification, we did the Community Safety Fund.
Did you
Yes.
budget order that place that in restricted fund?
Next up is HT, and that's our 20 speakers for the night. There's only one additional person signed up, so if you want to take that testimony, I'll go forward with it.
I'll make that motion, let the one more.
I'll second.
It's been moved and second to accept the one additional person. All those in favor indicate by saying aye. Aye. Any noes? Abstentions? Thank you, Jacoby.
My name's H.D. Higgins. I had a little something I was going to read, but based on the conversation about cops tonight and community, the greatest communities are communities that are of relationship. And there's no better example than cops. And it's such an important thing as the move of the world becomes more transactional. District 1 council members, I go to your neighborhood once a week, and I mentor at an elementary school in your neighborhood. And last week when I was there, a counselor asked me if I had any resources possibly for a mother and a child that were homeless that went to school at this elementary school. And so what I did is I reached out to the people that I know in homeless services, and I asked if they had any resources. And there is no resources. So this family, this mother and her son, are going to live in her car. Now, the community at the elementary school put together blankets and food and all those kind of things. But when you go out tonight and you get in your car and you realize how cold it is, just wait until it gets to be 10 degrees. And they're going to be sleeping in their car. That is sad. That is a sad thing to say about our community, that we have no warming shelters for mothers and their children. Very, very sad. Thank you.
Last up is Will.
Good evening. My name is Will Hewlings, and I live downtown. I want to express my disgust and frustration with what is happening in downtown Spokane, just blocks from City Hall. Mayor Lisa Brown and Spokane Police Chief Kevin Hall are utterly failing our city. Downtown Spokane has become a disgraceful shadow of what it once was. plagued by homeless drug addicts who openly smoke meth and fentanyl in plain view. Their reckless behavior and complete disregard for anybody but themselves are destroying our community. Have you been by the Rid Path lately? If so, you're probably wondering what's happening there. The sidewalks are littered with trash, blocked by drug addicts, and reek of urine and feces. It's infuriating to see that what this city has devolved into under Mayor Lisa Brown, and the lack of leadership. Spokane is crumbling before our eyes. As you guys go home to your neighborhoods, I'm going to go just a few blocks from here, and I'm going to be exposed to probably 30, 40 adults just camped out on the sidewalk, a lot of them out doing drugs. And if I call Crime Check, nothing's going to get done. They'll show up, but it's disgusting, and I'm getting really sick and tired of it. So, thank you. That's it.
Thank you. That concludes our open forum for this evening. I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved and second to adjourn. All those in favor, please indicate by saying aye. Aye. Any noes, abstentions? We are adjourned. Thank you. Good night.